next, and she's no stranger to showing off her dance moves as one half of 80s pop sensation Pepsi and Shirlie, as well as performing alongside Wham, of course. But at the height of her fame, no one knew she was suffering from the sometimes debilitating condition of endometriosis. Here to tell us all about how it affected her life, please welcome the fabulous Shirlie Kemp. Oh, lovely to have you here. I said sometimes debilitating. In most cases, endometriosis is very debilitating,
Absolutely.
Isn't it? I mean, it's a kind of... It's not a strange condition, but it's where tissue sort of similar to the lining of the womb grows in other places in the body. And, well, you tell us the symptoms.
Well, I think from the age of 13, 14, I started having really horrendous period pains. Yeah. My mum had never suffered from period pains, so she had no idea what was wrong with me. So we used to get the doctor in because I was chronically ill, vomiting. I mean, just... She didn't... I actually feel really sad for her that she witnessed her daughter rolling around. And he'd be like, it's just a period pain, it's just a period pain. And it wasn't until years later, I mean, actually trying to work when you've got... I couldn't work. I'd have to absolutely cancel anything for the whole week. But I remember being on tour with Wham once, and Pepsi found me collapsed in the bathroom. Because when you're in chronic pain, you lose your conscience, you're kind of almost delusional. And they got an ambulance for me. This was in the States. And I was in the hospital, and I was trying to say, it's a period pain. And they were going, this is not a period pain. And I really thought they were going to operate on me to see what was... Anyway, I got through that, but... I would have pethidine shots, everything.
Because so how long did it take for them to
I'd been chronic. You? Oh, so it wasn't until I was old enough I went to a private doctor. I didn't even... No one once mentioned a gynaecologist when you're younger. So...
Or did they mention endometriosis?
No. And I went to see this private doctor, and she said, by the sound of it, you have endometriosis. And I was like, endo what? No one's, you know... Yeah. I walked out of there, although not cured, but just so happy that someone had said I had something.
Acknowledged it.
Because as a female, you'll get... Well, they don't suffer with their period pains. What's wrong with you?
And do you think there's this culture of we just expect women to tolerate pain? They have periods, they give birth.
It's the normal thing that happens
walking around in agony.
Yeah, and it really was excruciating.
But also this expression, period pains, because for people who have period pains, you know, cramps or whatever, they might think, well, OK, it's not very nice, but... Yeah. But what you're talking about is something that's next level.
It's... When I went into labour, I remember saying to them, it's just like a period pain, it's just like a period... And they all looked around there, and no, you're going to have a baby. And I said, this was the pain I had from my periods.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, almost giving it another label, I think, would be helpful, because sadly, I mean, here we are, you know, nearly 40 years later, and still younger women have a real problem getting diagnosed with endometriosis. I think it's 8 years.
Do you know what? It's not even to get a diagnosis. It happened to my daughter about 18 months ago, and she's always suffered. Yeah. And she was really, really bad and got taken in overnight to do things. And they said, oh, you've got these little cysts on your ovaries. It's probably endometriosis, so either just take stronger painkillers or go on the pill. Yeah. That was it.
That is the option. It's hormones. The option really is, and it does help some women. You can have a coil or go on the pill. That is your only option at the moment.
So limited.
So it's limited, yeah.
And did it affect, you know, a lot of younger women? They talk about fertility issues. Obviously, you have two children. Was that a battle that you had?
It's a miracle that I had children. Honestly, I was told that it's going to be hard to conceive. So I said... There were so many things. I remember going home to Mark and saying, we need a baby now. And he's like, we weren't ready, you know, we were just young kids. And I was going, no, I've got to start trying to have a baby. But what I did in the end was it's called a basal chart. So it's the body temperature chart.
Right, I've never heard of that.
And the day we got married, I'd had this chart. I had my chart. I was obsessed with my chart, my temperature chart. Yeah. And we went to St Lucia, and I went down to the hotel reception. It was a very make-do wedding, and I said, could we want to get married? And they said 14th of November, and I knew that was my peak day on my temperature chart. Right. So I did get pregnant on my wedding day. Yeah, very romantic.
That's lovely.
But I felt like I was against the odds. So I was just couldn't believe I got pregnant, and I'm one of the lucky few who do get pregnant.
That's why we've got Harleymoon and not honeymoon.
Oh, I like it.
That's genius.
I was really it was really inspiring to hear how much Martin supported you from start and all the way through. How much did that mean to you for when you were...
I mean, all I remember thinking, if he must really love me, because I did not look my best when he's holding in the bathroom and I'm throwing up, but he always got hot water bottles and I used to massage. Good. Whenever I've got a stomachache, I always like my feet massaged, and he would just sit there for hours. So
but that was more amazing. Him being instinctive rather than you having to ask him to do anything.
I think he felt quite helpless. The great thing, he'd always get the doctor in for me. I would always say, get an ambulance or...
Yeah.
So,
oh, your marriage gives hope. It's such a nice thing to hear, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's all possible.
Yeah.
Is it a genetic condition, Shirlie?
Well, my grandmother had it, but my mum, and thank God my daughter, doesn't have it.
Right.
So I don't know whether... I think they still don't know, but it does seem that it can skip a generation, yeah.
And, I mean, ultimately, hysterectomy seems to be the thing.
Yeah, so
at
42,
difference.
I had a hysterectomy, but they left my ovaries.
Right.
And it was the best thing I ever did. I couldn't believe it. That first month that I actually went pain-free.
Yeah.
And I could book holidays and not ruin anyone else's holiday because I was being ill. So don't be scared because it's so much better nowadays. But I wished I'd had the hysterectomy much earlier. But I think I'd seen my mum have this scar from there to there and just think, I don't want that. But that, surgery
like
isn't, it's not like that now.
No. Such a long time of your life, though, to spend in...
Too long.
In pain,
yeah,
you know,
too
like
long.
a week out of every month or whatever. Listen, we can't let you go without mentioning the fact that this is the first day that Capital won't have your lovely...
I know. It's so sad. It's his first day off.
I know, yeah, and you were there for his last day.
Along
with Mark. We've got a little clip here.
The one thing that you wish for your child is to have a great career and to listen to you every morning at Capital having such fun is everything. That's as a parent that you want for your child.
During the pandemic, I think you only missed one show and you said to me, I said, bro, be careful, you know, where you're going and what you're doing. And, oh, my God, I'm going. and Roman said to me, I can't, Dad. People rely on me. And I thought, really good.
Oh, that's really emotional.
What was going through your head that day? Because clearly it affected you all.
Well, we're really close family, and they said, would you come in on his last day? And we're like, of course we would. And we didn't really know what we were doing there. And then when they said, well, you have to, you know, say a few words, and you just realised, you know, I'd listen every day. I put the radio on every morning, and he's there in the kitchen, so I didn't have to worry where he was. I knew what he was doing, and it was kind of losing that. And I know it may be just a job, but it's part of our family. The whole Capital thing. We all support each other, but I think he felt it was time to leave. So I don't know what he's going to do now.
Yeah,
might come and visit me a bit more.
Well, he won't be short of opportunities. That's for sure. And maybe his mum will be off it strictly. Would you or Martin do it?
Who knows?
Well, that was a lovely cliffhanger. Shirlie, thank you so much. Shirlie Kemp.